Hey life hackers, it's Demir from the Life Hack Method. Today I'm here with the first in a series of videos talking about the art of working remotely. Because all of a sudden it's something that we're expected to do and do well, and we don't. So let's get started. Now, you would think that working from home is just like working in the office, but actually it's a completely different beast. And you know that now. If you've been working from home, you can feel that. Suddenly it seems a lot harder to sit down and start with work, right? Or maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you're the kind of person where it's hard to put down work at the end of the day and you're working 9-10 hours. Gang, the source of your motivation is what's to blame for this. Let me explain this. When you worked in an office, you leveraged something called external motivation. That's where the signals and pressures to get to work on time and stay focused and even stop and go home at the end of the day, all of those signals came from outside of you. But those cues and those signals, they don't happen at all at home, which sucks because that means now you're responsible for providing those signals to yourself. So the biggest challenge is developing what we call internal motivation. Internal motivation is where you can actually give yourself the positive pressure and signals to do the things you need to do for work. Again, here's my promise. If you can actually build up that internal motivation muscle, you'll actually be way more productive than you ever used to be at the office. And listen, there's an incentive to get this right. I mean, we all want to learn how to work from anywhere in the world, right? I mean, think about having ultimate flexibility with your time and working from Portugal or Asia. That's something you never used to have an opportunity to do when you were stuck in an office. So let's get this right. And I can tell you it's worth it. I mean, Carrie and I have worked remotely for almost 7 years now. We've built a business that we run entirely with remote team members. We haven't even met most of our employees in person, and yet we're crushing it as a business. We're loving our life, and our employees actually get to design their ideal life too. So it's worth it. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 tips that are going to get you started. Tip number 1, put your game face on. Listen, don't underestimate the challenge here. We were taught so much in grade school and high school and college to rely on external motivation, getting a grade, showing up to class, getting lectured by the principal. And what that means is the internal motivation muscle, in some cases, has completely atrophied. We have to start from zero. So if we have any hope of rebuilding that muscle, we need to take this seriously. We need to put in effortful practice, get our heads straight, and get psyched up. Remember, you don't have the cues of getting dressed or commuting to work or your boss looking at you with a weird look to get you into a state of readiness. So you have to do it yourself. And the easiest way to do that is do the same thing you used to do. Get dressed, do your hair, do your makeup. And I know that takes up time that you should be able to save, but at least for the first couple months of working from home, I'm telling you, it's worth it. So what I'm saying here is don't wear your pajamas all day. No matter how funny it sounds, don't stop showering, don't stop doing your makeup. Try to keep the old routine and the old cues as much as possible. I even had a client who would actually leave the house, go to her favorite coffee spot, and then drive back to the house because it was part of her priming her day. So gang, dress the part and you'll feel the part. Change your physical state and you'll change your mental state. All right, tip number 2, go all in on structure. Gang, planning ahead and being super on top of your time is just not optional when you're working remotely. Sorry. You got to make a detailed plan on how you're going to spend your time. I'm talking about super detailed and blocking off time in your calendar to do those really important tasks. Now, a solid plan is what helps you say no when your friends call you up and want to see if you can come out to lunch or your kid interrupts you because you know you don't have the time. You could see it in your calendar. It actually also helps you say yes, guilt-free, if you want to take Friday afternoon off or go to the beach because now you know, hey, there's a time and a place for everything. My priorities are going to get done. Gang, you can get my full step-by-step weekly pre-planning process. It's in a PDF in the link in the description. It just takes 30 minutes to do, and it's a crucial skill if you're going to work from home. Tip number 3, set healthy habits and routines. Gang, healthy habits and routines create simple ways, cues to move you into the right mindset and help you transition quickly between work and life. Gang, the best 2 routines for working remotely are the start of work routine and the end of work routine. Now, each of these just takes 10 minutes to complete, but they're designed to gear you up for work and then bring you back down to real life. Side note, gang, you have to be ruthless about stop times when you work from home. You cannot let work drag you past your stop time just because you're comfy and you're in flow. You have to set an alarm for when it's time to stop work and get back to your personal life. Otherwise, it's easy to get that work from home burnout. Now, personally, I like to structure something in that's a non-negotiable that will absolutely force you, at least for a moment, to get up from your desk and leave. For me, that's dinner that we have scheduled at 4:30 p.m. Now, I know 4:30 p.m. dinner sounds really early, but it forces me to stop working, and I can come back after 5:30, but I usually don't. You can read more about what I include in my routines in a guide that I've linked in the description below. By the way, I like to cue myself to start my routines using auditory cues. So I actually have a Get Started with Work playlist that's mostly Gypsy jazz, and I've just played it for so long that now when I hear Gypsy jazz, I don't care where I am, I want to get started with work. All right, gang, those are your first 3 tips. We've got another video coming at you a week from now, so try to spend this week integrating those, and we'll see you in a week. Now hit the comment button below and tell me how you're dealing with remote work, your problems, your victories, your strategies. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're obsessed with human potential and living your best life like we are, consider subscribing and joining our journey to the complete freedom lifestyle. I'll see you in the next video.